and thank you for staying for this session as well. We really appreciate your presence in our session, and we really appreciate Delphi hosting this session. What an honor. We really appreciate it. What a great opportunity to speak about trust and greenwashing. Our panel consists of 4 people. I will start with my friend and colleague, Dimitris Charalambides, the director of Greenpeace. Nikos Charalambides, I apologize. I'll make more mistakes until we warm up. Please be kind and don't look at the socks that I'm wearing, because in this angle they are not looking very good. Lin Sun from Jinko Solar, Director of Sustainability. Dimitris Sakipis from PwC. And we have Konstantinos Antoniadis from EMICERT, Managing Partner. I will get directly into our questions. In accordance with EU and international data, more than 60% of companies in Europe and in the world are tampering with data, with ESG data. This is quite a dystopian environment related with greenwashing, and definitely an environment that we don't need in this current moment. I would like to ask your opinion, Nikos, to start with, about what the new green claims legislation can do to tamper with this reality, and what is your opinion in general for this dystopian reality?
Talking about reality, I think that you don't need the European statistics to get an understanding of what's going on. If you move around, you'll see hundreds of events where companies are congratulating each other, being awarded for their green performance. So if this was real, we would live in a different planet. At the same time, biodiversity is collapsing, climate change is still still getting worse, greenhouse emissions increase, so we're doing something wrong. Actually, a way of looking at how deep and real the changes are is to see where these efforts are sitting within the corporate world. Most of them are sitting within the communications department. They're not changing the patterns of production in most cases, not in all of them, in most cases. It's about changing the communication. This gives the impression that green is the new thing, which is good to an extent, but reality is far different. So we need to take it seriously, and we need to go deep into changing production chains and get there too.
Okay, I'll give the floor to Dimitris Sakipis. Can you give us your impression about where we stand at this given moment and what we are supposed to expect in the forthcoming years?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you, Delphi Forum, for the invitation one more year. I would like to share some facts from our recent PwC investor survey, where we asked more than 350 investors globally to give us some insights on what are the key drivers that affect their investment decision-making process. So what we learned from this survey is that more than 75% of investors consider sustainability performance as a key factor in order to select the company that they want to invest to. The impressive figure of 94% has doubts with regards to the reliability of the sustainability information currently reported. And what is equally important is that this percentage has increased by approximately 10% compared to last year's results. What does this say to us? What do companies need to do in order to improve this perception that currently exists among the investor society? They need to understand that sustainability is a journey. It's not a tick-the-box exercise. It's not a one-off exercise that will help them go to the next level. It's something that they need to integrate as part of their day-to-day operation and their core business. And in order to do so, there are 3 critical dimensions that they need to achieve. First of all, governance. Accountability of what you said before, ESG data, is critical throughout this journey. Responsibility is critical as well. Secondly, processes, policies, internal controls, systems, in order to eventually be in a position within the next 2 or 3 years to have reliable data. And the third thing that we miss out of the picture quite often is that they're not on their own. They also affect their supply chain. They need to control the sustainability performance of their own supply chain as well, in order not to affect their own operations, but what happens across the whole value chain of their operations.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Dimitris. Konstantinos, we will carry on with you. What is your impression about our current reality?
Thank you very much for the invitation. Just to add one more probably impressive number to the ones that Dimitris just said, it is very interesting that almost 70% the greenwashing incidents increased almost 70% within 1 year, just 1 year, 2023. It's, of course, a huge problem. We're talking about greenwashing and not only greenwashing, greenhashing and green bleaching. Greenwashing is when companies intentionally or not make false or misleading misstatements about their environmental actions. And this is something that we see more generally in the world. But there are also greenhashing and green bleaching, which happens when companies avoid to communicate or under-communicate their sustainability goals and actions, fearing criticism, legal issues, and extra regulation, probably. And I believe that this is something that is more common in Greece, and especially in SMEs. We have seen UK's ban on advertisement from major companies like Air France, Lufthansa, Shell, and okay, maybe there is an issue there that there is no clear agreement on what this really means to be environmental friendly, and in response to this, probably new regulations such as CSRD, the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, has come from EU. The directive demands limited assurance initially, but then in the future reasonable assurance in order to ensure the credibility of the data and the emissions reported through accredited third-party assurance providers. In this point, I would like to mention that many European countries give the authorization to offer these assurance services not only to financial auditors, but also to external auditors specialized in sustainability certifications. And these third-party verification bodies, accredited by ISO 70029, have the know-how and expertise in the field of sustainability, and they can ensure the integrity of these processes. And also, we have to mention that the EU has introduced two new proposal directives, the Green Claims Directive and Greenwashing Directive, in order to tackle greenwashing practices and adjust product labeling. With this new legislation, misleading advertising for products claiming to be environmental friendly will be banned, and only sustainability labels using approved certification schemes will be allowed.
Let's see how well these will be implemented at the end of the day. Seeing the results both in France and the UK makes us be relatively optimistic, but let's see. Thank you very much about the comment of not sharing data as well. It is interesting in the past years that we have seen major companies inverting from reporting to disclosing just data, specific data in a 5 or 6 page report. Lin Sun, your own impression internationally, but from China as well?
Thank you so much for the invitation. Just give you an idea who I'm representing for the company, Jinko Solar, and the solar industry. Interesting enough, when I see the title of today's discussion, the panel, our company's slogan is called Building Trust in Solar. And we're building trust in green. So that reminds me of For a company perspective, it is actually an opportunity instead of a discussion of which may create some further discussion of risk and concerns. Why is that? So for Jinko Solar, we sit in the renewable energy that we provide clean, affordable energy mix. Give you an idea, so far, the accumulated global installation is around 1,600 gigawatts, and we offer more than 210 gigawatts of accumulated shipment globally. So every 8 panels, there's one must come from our company. So, but our company do not believe anymore that we wanted to only provide products to the society, to the global, in terms of sustainability practice. We do believe it's an opportunity for us. For us, that's why we started to disclose our ESG information, just as Dimitris says that. From other external consulting performance that investors, they do value the performance of corporate companies, that you aren't able to share the information for your stakeholders, that you are credible, that you are accountable for your business, that is for environment, for social, and for governance of managing your supply chain as well. So this is something I believe from corporate perspective, regardless from which country, it is actually could be an opportunity. Just need to further develop it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
As time is running out relentlessly, I return to Nikos Charalambides. Last week in Greece, we had a shocking number of 72 forest fires at the beginning of April. It appears as if climate crisis is turning into climate chaos, or I don't know what is the more suitable word to describe the situation. I would like to ask you, as far as your sector is concerned, and I will consider your sector the NGO sector, what role can you play, and possibly what changes must apply in the NGO sector in order to help tackle this reality?
I assume we need to move faster, and I assume we need to be smarter in the way we engage with the society. It's clear that none of us alone can deal with the level of challenges that we face. As you said, the forest fires started ignoring that this is not their time. They started. The mechanism is not ready. The society is not ready. We're just shocked and wait for the next wave. The same will happen with the heat waves in summertime. So instead of being shocked and being surprised every now and then, let's get ready. We, as civil society, we need to see how we engage in a more efficient way at the society, how we can be more efficient into getting people out in the streets, because as the previous speaker said, we seem to agree in the narrative, but we seem to hesitate in taking the necessary action. We are, let's say, 20 to 30 years slow into taking the necessary action. From my experience, from my sector, if I dare say, we've been ringing the bell since the 90s on climate change. We've been ignored. Then there's been a whole decade of discussing about if the facts are right, and now the models are running out because reality is moving faster than our modeling. So yes, we need to move faster in close cooperation with science, in close cooperation with the society, and politicians also need to be courageous and take measures that will also take pressure and put pressure with incentives, of course, to the business world. So the changes will happen to that direction. If not, we risk to end up with a more unjust and unequal world.
Thank you. Dimitris, Sakipis, what role can your sector play in tackling this reality?
We're talking about climate change. We can talk throughout the whole day, but I see the time and I understand we need to rush. So climate change has two main dimensions. The first one is how we mitigate the effects from our operation, how we reduce carbon footprint. Many companies call this net zero, climate neutrality, emission reduction plans. The second dimension is how we adapt to what's happening and we become resilient in order to protect our company from external environment. This is the risk management perspective. One is the inside out, so how our company affects the environment, and the other one is the outside in, how the world affects the operation of our company. What is critical is that for a company to be able to have a solid and concrete climate strategy, it needs to tackle both aspects, both dimensions of the climate-related effects that it might have to the environment or the environment might have to it. Now, as PwC, and with regards to our actions toward the environment, I won't hide that I'm really glad to say that we have announced 2 key actions. The first one is that globally we will become net zero with specific emission reduction targets by 2030. And this is really, really important for a company like
really
PwC.
close.
Exactly. The second thing, it's a local initiative. It's part of our strategy to open satellite offices throughout Greece. Last October, we opened our satellite office in Rhodos Island, which is also a sustainability hub, which offers initiative services around sustainable tourism and also provide consulting services not only to our Greek clients, but also to our PwC network all over the world. And this means that we really put an effort in order both to improve ourselves, but also to help our clients demonstrate and actually improve it towards their own performance.
Linsun, is solar the answer to these challenges?
Yes, for sure. So I'm very excited, as Dimitris mentioned, my 2 keywords of the answer to the second question just you proposed. Commitment and result means that you have to commit the company itself to our ambitious, sustainable targets, but at the same time, we deliver results. So let me just tell you something that we are actually doing. For example, Jinko is the first solar manufacturer committed to RE100, which means we're going to realize 100% of renewable energy use as well. So right now, we're at the path of realizing already 50% of green electricity, covering all our factories. Just for your info, we have more than 14 manufacturing sites across the globe in US, in Southeast Asia, and in China. In this particular moment that we have been able to share the good news of realizing 4 certificated net zero carbon factories in our Jinko factory manufacturing sites. Plus, we are going to announce a bigger move for our super factories in China. You can imagine the one single production line is at least long, it's as 3 kilometers long for our production line. And we are going to turn this factory into green factory as well. This is our plan. So I think commitment on one side, for example, RE100 SBTI, that we are actually trying to put ourselves the footprint in climate change. But at the same time, the company itself in the practice of doing and delivering is also something that we do believe very important. And last but not least, here in the particular country that in Greece that we enjoy pretty nice market share, we are also committed for our European markets practice for circular economy, which means for the products now we're offering to the markets, the solar panels will be somehow considered as environment friendly after our practice for circular economy and recycling. So this is something that we're making sure that we're thinking forward and next steps for all of us.
Linsun, probably Athens is 3 kilometers long, so that is impressive data. Konstantinos, Antoniadis, we are a country and a planet that claims whatever one wishes. What is the role in your sector changing this reality, and who is going to regulate your own sector, actually?
You start your previous question with the Greek wildfires, terrible wildfires. What's wrong there? It is more than over 50% of the forest ecosystem are currently without management. Most forests in Greece lack management studies. This highlights the need for an effective tool to ensure proper forest management. What we should do, one thing is to reduce the amount of biomass in the forest that could fuel wildfires. And the other thing is to manage the forest economically, like cutting down trees for timber and using other plants materials. In this process, both, let's say, processes are important to have certification bodies involved to make sure that everything is done properly and according to the standards and according to the forest management plans. Furthermore, the Greek Ministry of Environment planned to introduce a voluntary carbon market as a financial instrument to help manage forests better and protect them. Of course, the forests are natural carbon sinks, absorbing and storing large amounts of carbon dioxide, so it is valuable for carbon trading. The ministry plans involves activities such as deforestation reduction, reforestation, and addressing forest degradation. Of course, the integrity of this project are essential, and the role of verification bodies on this is crucial because there is a lack in the framework in the voluntary market, but just a few weeks ago, the European Commission introduced a proposal for a union certification framework for carbon removals, and according to this, the certification bodies are key to making sure that these projects are credible. They must validate the conformity of project declaration and methodologies according to quality criteria, meaning by quality criteria, the proper quantification, the additionality, the permanence and sustainability, and the certification audit by an independent body. Okay. In Greece, we have some accredited verification bodies that are experienced. EMICERT is one of them. As a company, we have a lot of experience in the verification of a project like this to implement, let's say, carbon removals and storages. So I believe that in the next years, this voluntary carbon market will probably help in this, the management of the forest, and thus to the contribution to the mitigation from the climate change.
Thank you very much. Important comments that we don't have time to comment. We only have 36 seconds. So, Dimitris, what principles can make Europe a leader again in social and environmental issues? You have 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
5 seconds.
5.
No, everything is perfect.
Next.
So in 10 seconds, everything is perfect. We're on the right path, but there are a lot of things that need to be done. I would say that transparency is very important, and also reliability of data, as we told in the beginning, is also of critical importance.
We will pray for both. Lynn?
From company corporate perspective, I just share one keyword: standards that we follow and support. Anything standards that applies for the industry, apply for more players, will be a good ways to approach.
Konstantinos?
I'd like to focus on the European accreditation framework that is robust enough and experienced enough to assure that everything that has to be done through a verification or certification body is done correctly. So we're lucky to live in Europe where we have this robust accreditation framework.
Nikos, I've left Greenpeace last on purpose.
Thank you. I will not refer to standards and accreditations or to ISOs or other things. I'm looking forward to the results of the new Euro elections. Already, European Union has shown a trend of taking steps back in the green agenda, serious steps back. We see what's happening in the agriculture agenda. We see what's happening in the overall green agenda. So, assuming that all is fine is wrong, we need to review things and speed up the efforts. And so far, what we've been letting out of the equation is the society. The society is ignoring why all this is happening. It doesn't see the benefit, doesn't see how this is engaging them, why this is necessary to them. That's the thing we need to change.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.